All right, y'all, it's late October and it's about to be full moon, but I'm gonna come out here and harvest these eddos that I've had planted here for a few months. I'm not sure how it's gonna be doing. Let me just get rid of these Amish based tomatoes that I'm gonna save the seed. I just came in and I pulled the plant because it's done for the season. I got lots of tomatoes from it. But I'm out here to just harvest these eddos. And the good thing about growing these eddos, guys, is that it's a root crop. So it's going to store well. You don't have to necessarily use any preserving methods for it. And look at that. That's a good size eddo. And it's the first time that I'm growing this eddo here in my zone. And don't get me wrong, I grew up assisting my parents with growing these in the garden. But there's nothing better than having the personal experience for yourself and going through the experience from start to finish growing something and being able to harvest it and seeing that you came out successfully doing it yourself. It's a whole different experience. And I was lucky to get this as a part of a seed giveaway that I won last year from Planter Garden TV, and it was 5 of these eddos, and I planted them indoor in a container, and they were doing so well inside. And I brought them out in the spring with the type of weather we had this year, and they struggled quite a bit. The leaves died off and then they started to regrow again from scratch. So in my experience with this happening to me, I just decide that in the future I'm going to direct plant them in the soil. And as you can see, some of the eddos, the tubers are smaller than some. The leaves, the young leaves right there, like this one, I can use that. We call that callaloo. It's very nutritious and it has a lot of health benefits. So there's a whole lot of eddos that I can grow from these few eddos here. So it will multiply every year. And I will be able to get lots of food from these eddos. You can use it like you would use mashed potatoes. You can put it in soup, like if you're making a pumpkin soup with this big boy right here. The tendril's not quite dried yet, so I'm going to leave it a little bit. But yeah, you can put it in your soup. You can steam it however you choose. You can even make porridge with it. You can grate this or blend it up and make a nice tasty porridge. Add some nutmeg in it and some condensed milk. It's such a delicious porridge to drink in the fall and winter time. But yes, guys, as you can see, my eddo harvest is looking pretty decent because it's only a few I have here. I'm going to leave one of them, though, still in the ground and see how it does. You see that little young leaf right there? But that's not enough. It's just only a few I have here. And if you notice, some of the base of the plants are smaller. Look how thick this one is. So I'm expecting bigger eddos from that plant. I'm just excited that this eddo has multiplied so much because I'm going to be planting more of it. I don't have a lot of space, and I'm heading more to container gardening for some of my plants, so that way certain plants I can plant them in ground. Look at that, guys. I'm going to have some eddos to eat, and I'm still going to have some to plant next year. And these are going to be cured to prevent spoilage, so I'm just going to sit them out for a couple weeks and make sure that I have airflow going over and under them on my drying rack where I dry all my produce that needs to be cured. And then I'm going to store them away in a cool, dry area and use it over the few months. I mean, it's not a whole lot that I can, store up here because I am going to be eating some of this. But I'm going to be saving some to plant next year because I want to have more callaloo leaves because that thing is full of iron. It's a big iron source where I'm from. Yeah, that's what we would use as an iron source. But look at that, guys. Look, this one little one. Look how many there on that one plant. So my harvest is looking really good for the first time in my zone. And this is zone 6B. So you can actually grow this tropical food in ground in my zone, as you can see. Now I'm going to use this spade because it's kind of hard right there, and I don't want to break the leaves away from the root. So I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit with this shovel, and then I'm going to look at that worm. Sorry for distracting you, but yeah, look at that, guys. I'm excited about my eddos. I'm so excited living this way in a different country. It's just like I'm living back home in the Caribbean islands. Let's see what this one here got for me. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but I'm actually going to get plants from it. Maybe a couple eddos, yep. And then I'm going to have plants from that one. There's more worms. Sorry to disturb you. But guys, look at my harvest. It is looking so good. It's looking promising. I'm excited to grow this food and not have to preserve it. That's the most important thing for me. Growing food where you don't have to, you know, can it or freeze it or dehydrate it. It's easier that way, number one. I think it's good because it's also less work. And I'm not a lazy person by any means, but when you're gardening the way I do, because I know what I put into the garden, and you have to wait for it to be harvested, and then you harvest it, and you have to put up all that food. It's absolutely a lot of work. It's really nice to grow all this food, but then you have to think about how you're going to preserve it, how you're going to take care of it, and how you're going to treat it so it would last for a few months and it wouldn't spoil on you. This is my first ever eddo planting and harvest in my zone 6B, and I just wanted to harvest it and show you here the results of growing eddos in my zone. So this one here, I'm just going to leave it in ground to overwinter and see what it does. I'm only willing to lose one, so we'll see what it does. But y'all, this is my harvest and I'm happy to share it with you. If you are interested in purchasing some eddo plant, you can check out Planter Garden TV. Go on his about page, you'll find his email address, and grow you some eddos, guys. It's a good thing to grow. It has a sweet, nutty taste. You're going to enjoy it. And you cook it however you like. And it's the gift that keep on giving, because you can always save plants from these to replant again the next season. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on the next upload.